Good morning, boys and girls. So today you're going to be working asynchronously. That means working independently, but I will be available for study hall from 1 to 3 today if you have any questions. So today, Thursday, we are beginning our review of force and motion concepts. Remember yesterday I talked about how we started this unit way in December. It's a big, ginormous unit, and we're going to test on it next Tuesday. So starting today, you're going to be working on a force and motion storybook. I went over all of this yesterday, so I'm just going to briefly go over it again. Some of you may be ready to go and already working on your book, though. So today you're going to begin a 2-day assignment to review and demonstrate your understanding of force and motion concepts. You'll create a storybook to demonstrate your understanding of the following. So way back in December, we learned about balanced and unbalanced forces. You can actually click this link and it will take you to a slideshow that goes over balanced and unbalanced forces. It even there's a BrainPop video linked in there as well. So if you've completely forgotten or are not quite sure what that is, you can go take a look at that slideshow. In your book, you will also cover inclined planes. We did inclined planes that week before winter break. There is a slideshow that goes over inclined planes. Again, these are both things that we did in class together. So these are just reviewing something that we have already done. This is not new information. So there's a slideshow for inclined planes. Your book will also cover calculating average speed, which is what we've been doing since we got back to school in January. I linked Oh, that's the wrong. I'll fix that one. So it'll link to a slideshow for calculating average speed, and then finally representing distance on a distance time graph, which we've been working on for the past about 7 or 8 days. And I linked this slideshow that we saw earlier this week. Okay. So I also have my example, which I read to you yesterday of the book that you can use it as an example. And then my teaching partner next door in my next door classroom, he went ahead and wrote his own book too, the Mr. Pig Adventure, and it goes through all the requirements of your book. So he has his example that you could use as well. Okay. Okay. So your book, your template is linked at the bottom for you to work on. On each of the pages, I put in what you need for your book. So your first page, of course, is a title page, and I include everything that you need. And so you can just type where I have, you type where it says title here, you insert a picture where it says picture, and you type in your name where it says your name here. On the second slide, this is the beginning of your story, the exposition, just like you would do with Miss Gaspard. Remember, at the beginning of the story, we introduce the main characters, describe where it's happening, when it's happening, why it's happening, that kind of thing. We're setting up the story. There's really not a lot of science that has to go into this page if you don't want it to be. It can just be all about your character that we're going to be following. This page needs to stay in its place, okay? It should be the second slide in the slideshow. Title page should be the first page, okay? Then when we get to the third page, we start looking at science content. Now, I'm okay with these content slides, okay? The concept slides, those can be rearranged in the order that you need to fit your story. So you're going to have one page in your book that focuses on your character encountering or experiencing real-world examples of balanced forces and unbalanced forces. So you're going to type the story, okay, that part of the story that includes balanced and unbalanced forces correctly. And you're also going to insert a picture to show that to me. You're going to have a page that focuses on your character using inclined planes. Remember, inclined planes are used to reduce the amount of force needed to move an object over a distance. So when we're having to lift something heavy straight up, it's much easier to build a ramp to push it. And the longer the ramp is, the easier or less force we're going to have to use. Then you're going to have a part of your story that focuses on your character's distance and time that they're traveling, and then you'll calculate the average speed of your character correctly. You'll also include a picture. And then you'll have a slide where you're typing out what your character's doing, how they're moving, and then you're going to show that to me on a simple distance time graph. Okay. If you need an example, okay, this is the same graph that we have been using for like 4 weeks now. So we know how to set this up from past assignments. But you can go look at my example and Mr. Moreau's example. So let's take a look. Mr. Moreau describes how his pig is moving on the right-hand side and then makes a graph to show that on the left-hand side. Okay. In Miss Ross's book right here, I can advance and see. I tell about how my character is moving, and then I made a graph to show that. Okay. And then finally, you're going to have a conclusion slide, the end of the story. This is just how we show that the character has been changed by what happened in the book. Again, this doesn't have to be focused on science. This last one, the end slide, it's just summing up your story. Okay, remember, just like with Miss Gaspard, when we get to the end of the story, we tell how our character has changed. Or the world around them has changed because of what happened in the story. So first slide, second slide, last slide, those have to stay in their place. You can rearrange 3, 4, 5, and 6 as long as you have them somewhere in the story. You can move them around. Okay, so you will notice from our example stories, Mr. Moreau and I did ours in different orders, okay? And you are free to do that as well, as long as you keep the first, second, and last slide in the right place. So if you need any help on today's work, I will be available from 1 to 3 o'clock, so you can jump on Zoom and we can work together. Again, I would plan on having about half of your book finished today and leave the other half for Monday. You might want to do a little bit more than half because Monday will be back to a regular schedule. Today you might have a little bit more freedom to get things done. And of course, you're off of school tomorrow. So if you're getting behind, you might want to catch up tomorrow because this is going to be due Monday at the end of the school day. So let me know if you have any questions.